Hey guys, welcome back to the part 10 of this game tutorial series where we are making this platformer game. And in the previous video we made the level lock UI, and in this video we are going to make level lock system and we'll finalize the game with some other things. And before we jump in the tutorial, let me tell you can download this project from my Patreon where you can access all the assets and UI I used for this game along with the whole project. The link is in the description. Now the thing is, we can open up any level we want. If I click on this level 3, it will open the level 3 because there is no level lock system yet. So I guess we have to work on that now. Now we have to implement the level lock system through the save game system. Because what's the point of unlocking new levels if you restart your game and they are locked again? So let's go to your content browser, and here we are going to create a blueprint class, and here in the all classes search for the save game. Select this, and I'm gonna name this my save game BP, and here we wanna have all the information that we wanna save even after we restart our game. Now here let's add a variable, and this variable gonna carry the information about how many levels the player has unlocked yet. So I'm gonna name this level unlock, and this is going to be boolean, so it will only carry information about true or false. If the level is unlocked or not. And now since we have many levels in a game, what we are going to do is we are going to make this boolean an array, so it can carry true or false condition for every single level. Now we could have made many single booleans for each level, but it's just easier to operate with the arrays. So now let's just compile, and from here you can add the array elements. So we are gonna add 3 elements since we have only 3 levels in our game, and the first one is going to be unlocked by default. So just check the first one, and others we are gonna make them unlock when we finish the level. Now first we need to load this save game in order to use the information from inside this. And the best place where you can load your save game is your game instance. So we need to create one first. So right click, go to blueprint class, and in the all classes search for game instance. Here it is. Now game instance is the first class that runs when you open up your game, and it persists the whole game until you completely close your game. That's why it's the most reliable class to load your save game onto, and I'm gonna name this my game instance PP. So let's open this up. Now first let's search for the event in it. It's just like a event begin play. Now here first we are going to check, does save game exist? So search for it. There you go. And now it needs a slot name. So let's name this slot 1. And then check the condition. So if the save game doesn't exist already, then we are going to create one. So search for the create save game object. And here we are gonna select this my save game BP which we just created, and from here we get the my save game BP reference. So right click and promote this to variable because we wanna store that reference in a variable. Let's name this save game ref. So this is how we load the save game into a variable. Now where did the save game exist already? For example, you already have level 2, level 3 unlocked, so you wanna load them, right? So for that search for load save game from slot and give it the same slot name here, which is slot 1. And now this returns the generic save game reference, and we cannot directly save this into this variable. So we need to cast it to my save game BP, and after the cast we can plug this into this variable, and this is how we are going to load our save game as soon as we start our game. Now if you want to access the data from this save game, which is here, so through this variable we can easily access it. Now in order to use this my game instance, we first need to go to the project settings, go to the maps and mode, and down here you can select the game instance you wanna use for this project. So we selected my game instance. Now come to main menu UI, and this is where we are gonna use that save game data so that we can load the unlocked levels. Now here in the graph, on the event construct, we are going to cast to my game instance so that we can access this save game reference where our actual save game data exists. So get game instance, and through this we are going to cast to my game instance. And then we are going to promote this to variable. Let's name this game instance reference. Alright, so now we need to write such functionality that would show or hide these lock images based on if this boolean index is true or false. So here, since the first index is true by default, then this first level lock must be hidden. So to make such functionality, here in the graph, let's create a custom event. Let's call this setLockUI. And inside this custom event, we're gonna write logic for that. So first get game instance reference. So through the game instance, I wanna access this save game reference, inside which we have these boolean, which is basically the data of which levels are locked or unlocked yet. So get the save game reference, and through that we're gonna access this level unlock array. Now here in this boolean array, each index represents each level and its level lock state, if it is locked or unlocked. So using for each loop, we are going to go through all the levels to check if they are locked or unlocked yet, and based on that we are going to hide or unhide this lock image. So get the for each loop, which help us to go through each element inside of an array one by one. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to make an array of these lock images. So get every lock image in a sequence and then make an array. Here you can add the pins for how many locks images you have. And now through this array, we are going to get a copy, which is used for accessing the element from the array based on the given index. So here we are going to use the same index as we are using for accessing this boolean array, and we'll update the visibility of the lock image as we'll keep accessing the boolean values. And what visibility will be set here will depend on if the boolean is true or false. Now we can check the condition with the branch and change the visibility accordingly. But we can also use this select operator, which is right here, and if we plug the return value to this parameter, here we can directly change the value based on the condition. So if the condition is true, then I'm gonna hide the lock image, since that means the level is already unlocked. And if the condition is false, then we will keep it visible. Now one more thing I want here is, when the level is unlocked and this lock image is not there anymore, then I wanna set some different color to this background, means to this button, like this. So I'm just gonna copy this hex RGB, so I'll use this later. Now let's get all the levels by sequence in the graph, and we're gonna make its array just like before. Then get a copy of this array and plug the same index here. And then we are going to set the background color of this button. Now to set the color based on the condition, we are again going to use this select operator, plug this to parameter. So when the condition is false, the color will remain this black. But when the condition is true, the color I'm gonna use is this green. So finally we are done making this functionality, and now we are gonna call this event on pre-construct. We can also call this on event construct, but just to see the results in the editor, I'm calling it here. Now that functionality is of no use if we don't unlock the levels. So here in your finish line BP, let's create a custom event and let's name this unlock new level. So first what we're gonna do is, through my game instance, we're gonna access this save game reference. So here get game instance, then cast to my game instance BP, and through this cast, you can access that save game reference. And inside this save game reference is the data that we want to change. There is this level unlock boolean array. So to change this, search for set array element. So here we're gonna check this to true, means we are unlocking the level. And which level are we unlocking is defined through the index value. Now here, since we know this index 0 is for our level 1, which is unlocked by default, and other indices for the other levels. And here the index set for 0 means level 1. Now in order to unlock the next level, first you need to get the current level name. So actually what we want to do here is, so from the level name, we want to get this last numeric value. So for that, let's get the substring, and that last digit starts from index 5, and you can keep the length to any bigger number. So it is going to return us the level number. That is the index for the next level, since index starts from 0. I hope it makes sense. Now here the most important part is to save the game. So through the save game reference, get the save game to slot. If you don't do this, the changes you made in the save game isn't gonna save. So make sure to save the game to slot. And in the slot name, provide the slot name you used before. I used slot 1. So this is how we are going to unlock the new level. Now we just need to call this custom event when we overlap with the finish line BP. So here after this, let's call unlock new level. Now go to main menu UI, and here we have to do one last thing, that is to restrict the player from opening the level if the level is not unlocked yet. So for that we need to check this level unlock boolean. So let's copy this and quickly paste this here. So get a copy for the first index of this boolean, and if this is true, then we can go to level 1. So for this boolean, this 0 index is for the level 1, and we know it's true by default, so it will never restrict us from going to level 1. Now copy this condition for other levels. Now for the level 2, the index will be 1, and if this condition is true, we can open up the level 2. And same for the level 3, the index is going to be 2, and if this condition gets true, we can open up level 3. And this is how we are gonna restrict the player from opening the level if he hasn't unlocked it. So now let's open up our main menu level and let's play and test this. So here the level 1 is already unlocked, and now let's finish this level. And now when we return to main menu, here you can see the level 2 is now unlocked, while others are still locked. Now when we play the game and collect the coins, I want all that amount to be added here in this currency and shown in the main menu UI. And we are also going to integrate that currency system with the save game system so that the amount won't be lost when you restart the game. So just add a currency amount variable in your save game and make sure it's an integer and not an array. And now let's just open up my game mode where we have implemented this update currency event, cause if we want to save this add amount. But before that, on event begin play, get the game instance and cast to my game instance pp. Then promote this to variable and call this game instance reference. Just like this. Now let's come down here, and here what we want to do is, here I want to save every amount we collect. So for that, get game instance reference, and through this get save game reference, and through the save game we are going to set the currency amount. So in this variable we are going to save all the currency amount. Now from the save game reference, get the currency amount and then search for the add operator, and we are going to add it with this add amount parameter and just plug this here. So we are basically adding the current saved amount with the new coins we collect. Now the most important step, save game to slot. Give it the same slot name, that is slot 1. And now we have integrated the currency system with the save system. So now we have to set this text to that saved currency amount. So go to the graph, and here on the event construct, we are going to set the text. So get the currency amount, which is this text, and set the text. Now what text are we going to set here? So we are going to get it from the game instance, and through the game instance get the save game reference, and from the save game reference get the currency amount. And this is the save data that we want to set here as the currency amount. Now here make sure to set the minimum and maximum digits to 2. So for example the number will go like 01 instead of just 1. Alright, so currently we have 0 currency amount saved. So let's play level 1 and collect some coins. So let's jump and collect the coins, collect this one, and then this. So we have 30 amount right now. And here you can see we got that amount in the main menu UI. And even if we restart the game, this amount is saved and won't be lost even if you restart your game. So now let's collect some more coins from level 2. Jump and collect. Jump again. Let's collect this. This one too. Oops. So I fell down. Oh, I guess I didn't set up the kill zone in the level 2 properly. We'll fix that, but if we go to main menu now, you can see our collected amount is saved. Now let's fix this kill zone issue in level 2. So as you can see, it is not aligned properly. So let me scale it a bit. And now it's covering the whole level. So that falling issue must be fixed now. Now if you ever wanna delete your save game progress, then you can use this delete game in slot and give it the slot name. And now when we click play, as you can see all of our progress is now deleted. So now we are almost done with this game, and my throat, it's really hurting right now. But one last thing that I'm gonna introduce you with is the post-processing volume. You can add it from here. And before I explain you further, if you really appreciate my efforts, then you can support me on Patreon, where you can find this game project and download it and access all the assets, UI or animations, whatever I used in this project with the project file. So my Patreon link is in the description. I really appreciate your support. So now back in the game. Now what a post-processing volume is, it is just like a filter. The area inside this box is going to get affected with the filter we are going to set in the details panel. I mean, it's more complex than that, but I am just explaining you in the simple terms. So here you'll find a lot of parameters you can play with to give your game really good visuals. Like if you go into this global category, from here you can change this saturation. As you can see, I'm not gonna use that. Then we can use contrast. Let's use this a little bit. Then we also have an effect like vignette. So from here you can control its intensity. I'm going with 0.5, yeah, that seems enough. And if we move out of this post-processing volume, we can clearly see the effect. But if we want this effect for the whole level without even scaling the post-processing volume, so we can check this unbound option here. So the post-processing settings will be applied to the whole world. So now when we play, you can see a game is looking even more better. And I've created only 3 levels in this game. You can make a lot of them and even publish this as your first game. The possibilities are endless, but my energy not. So I have to take a sign off now, and I really hope you learned something from this video. So if you appreciate my efforts, you can support me on Patreon, where you can download this whole project with all the UIs, animations or assets that I've used in this game. The link is in the description, and you can also join my Discord server where you can interact with other developers of this community. And if this video really helped you out, you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I wanna thank Patreon members of this month. I really appreciate the support, it means a lot. Alright, so till then, see you, bye bye.